everyone, and welcome to Session 3 of the Global Black Feminist Reading Circle. My name is Randie, and I am one of the Black Feminist Reading Circle members of this online group. This session runs from January 20th until June 2nd and includes 2 week-long breaks. Our democratically selected reading material is Harriet A. Washington's book, Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present. Our book group meets each Tuesday evening from 6:30 to 8 on the Google Plus Hangouts on Air platform. You may find the Global Black Feminist Reader Circle on Google Plus, YouTube, and Facebook, and always feel free to join us in reading our story together.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Global Black Feminist Reading Circle. My name is Venita Walker, and I will be your moderator for this evening. We will summarize and discuss Chapter 6 of the Medical Apartheid by Harriet A. Washington, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to Present. But first, we'll let everyone introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Edwina Marchenko.
And you're from?
I'm here in Utah now.
I am Michelle Odom. Welcome again to the Global Black Feminist Reading Circle. I'm one of the co-hosts here, along with Randie, Danielle Henderson.
Hi everyone, I'm Randie and I'm watching from Atlanta.
I'm Georgette Moses. I'm participating from Columbia, South Carolina. And wow, I'm glad to see all these new faces here tonight. It's going to be some conversation going on.
Yes.
All right.
Hi, I'm Kim Brandon, and I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Hi guys, this is Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
Bringing you greetings from Columbia, South Carolina. Hello, George. Hello, Georgia homegirl.
As the Civil War approached, the South's stronghold of slavery was weakening. The North's industrialized economy was no longer dependent on the South for cheap labor, and the rest of the nation grew tired of the political power the 3/5 clause afforded the South. Internationally, the medical rationale for slavery was viewed as ignorant and self-serving. Pro-slavery Southerners attempted once again to justify the institution of slavery as domestic and international opposition to slavery mounted. In 1840, for the first time, the, quote, insane and idiots, unquote, as they were known in the 19th century, but now as the mentally ill and the intellectually challenged were included in the U.S. Census. The results revealed that free blacks suffered higher mental illness than enslaved blacks. Thus, the cause of free blacks' mental illness was freedom.
Thank you, Kim.
Burgeoning Black Diseases. Pellagra was thought to be a black infectious disease. Pellagra was thought to be a black infectious disease, also known as the sharecropper's scourge, caused by poor hygiene. In fact, it was not a black disease, nor infectious. The disease was caused by poor blacks' sparse and monotonous diet of white corn and inferior fatty pork, which was severely deficient in niacin, an essential amino acid. However, the 1906 economic downturns and the changes in processing white corn removed remaining traces of niacin and fueled more widespread nutritional deficiency among white Southerners as well. And pellagra was now recognized as a public health emergency. When the HIV virus first appeared in the U.S. in 1981, it was believed to be a gay disease. No problem. When AIDS was thought to be an intravenous drug user's disease, prevalent in poor Black communities, no problem. When AIDS infiltrated the heterosexual white community, it became a public health crisis. Do you believe this antiquated way of thinking hinders Black folks from receiving appropriate medical and mental health care in 2015?
Yes, I'm gonna answer this since I haven't been speaking much. But my grandfather, my dad's dad, may have prostate cancer, but he won't go back to the doctor to see. And my grandma told me we need to tell the grandchildren that we need to call him and like get on him because he's fainted twice, but he refuses to go. He still got this one cavity in the back of his mouth that he done had since he was like 22 that he won't go get out because he said the last time he went it hurt so. But like there's just like a fear of receiving any help because he doesn't obviously trust the doctors. And my grandfather is very southern, very country. He gonna go anyway. Or he's very strong. He sharecropped when he was younger. He only has a 5th grade education because he had to leave school to do that, to sharecrop. So I definitely see that. My other grandfather, my mom's dad, had prostate cancer, and he was just gonna let it sit there, and he'll handle it later. And everybody had to convince him to handle it now because obviously cancer spreads. And this is the grandfather I told you all about a few months ago, the one who went to Vietnam, and they think that there was something that they were testing out there that had got him sick, and so the government paid for his medicine. And my grandmother just passed in 2012 because she had stage 4 breast cancer, and she wouldn't get treated either. It seems like the older people in my family would rather die, or go out their own way and have a hand, let it be their doing instead of going to the doctor. So I definitely see that.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that. Did you find out if it was Agent Orange?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really say much because I'm the same way. I'm bad. I'm really bad. Venita gets on my nerves. But but I understand it. But also I want to say in terms of the question, I think what we're seeing currently around Ebola,
Yes.
is another example of in terms of how public policy responds to health issues. As long as it's happening to Black folks in Africa, no problem. But to the extent that it becomes a threat to the good white folks of the Western world, it's a huge problem. And so from a policy perspective, I think that racism is contributing is risking the health of all of us because we don't care as much when something happens to Black people. And if we cared at the point that it was happening to Black people, then we could start to put the policy interventions and resources in place that would protect everybody. But racism as a pathology blinds us to that. And so we're at risk for, all kinds of contagions are predicted for the coming era. So, yeah, I think it's a huge problem.
Yeah, my son, he was telling me not to go to certain restaurants, fast food restaurants, because of the fact that they had immigrants, you know, from not just Latin America, but from Africa and other places, working in these places, in these restaurants, and they weren't sanitizing their hands. They weren't washing their hands. So because of this, and people that we shouldn't eat out of these restaurants, and he and I were debating that, you know, and you know, not to go. I don't want to name the restaurants, but you know, the fast food restaurants, based on the fact that the people that were working there weren't washing their hands and could contaminate the food or hamburgers or French fries, whatever, with Ebola.
Yeah, well,
since they're the ones, and we're the ones that work at the fast food restaurants. Even I worked at McDonald's once.
yeah, a story, a video went on my Facebook scroll the other day. I did not share it there, and I probably should not be sharing it here. I didn't watch the video, but the title of it and what you could see on that cover image was a scene from Popeye's chicken restaurant, and it appeared to be a black couple that was having sex on the counter in the kitchen counter in Popeyes, and the girl had on a little Popeyes uniform, and she was face down on the counter, and the man was coming at her from behind, and you know, so imagine getting a little taste of that with your chicken.
Thank you, Michelle. Popeyes is off the list.
Oh, I think your son was giving you some good advice, Edwina.
Well, yeah, you know, I cook my own meals. I cook at home anyway, and I try not to eat, you know, for health reasons, you know, because of the sodium content, too much sodium, too much sugar, you know, and when you go out to fast food restaurants, but you know,
You don't know.
it's a bias. It's a bias, especially when the Ebola effect came out.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that one of the things that I find really interesting is that they started to talk about the sharecropper's diet.
Yes.
And I think that when I looked the year before last, there were like 6 or 7 people in my life that all died of cancer, one after other after other.
Wow.
So we really have to look at, you know, some of the food now is processed in China. Are you kidding me? Chicken is processed in China and then sent to us full of hormones and steroids. And, you know, I just really think that poor people really need to, when you get a real bargain on the food, it may not be such a bargain in the long run. So, you know, I am concerned with hygiene of who's cooking my food at Burger King or what was it, Popeyes? But I'm more concerned with, you know, getting cancer from eating red meat or chicken or things that you thought were safe. And now you find that because it's such a big business, you don't hear the food and was it the Food and Health Administration, FDA? You don't hear them anymore. When I was coming up, they were fighting everything. Now they're just like, okay, pay us under the table, let us, you know, eat whatever you want. So I just think it's something with understanding what's on your table, and where did it come from? Where'd your food come from?
Exactly. I remember we had farmers markets and on particular days of the week where, you know, where our parents, at least my parents, would go shop for food to buy, you know, straight from the farm, right off from farmers. But now, you know, things have changed.
Well, the one problem I have with that, first of all, I'm I eat a lot of organic foods, period. 'Cause I'm afraid of food. I haven't eaten a fast food restaurant for 37 years. I think it's 37. Wow. I think it's 37 years, yeah. Last time I ate a fast food restaurant was at McDonald's almost 37 years ago. I don't do fast foods. I hardly do any foods outside of my home because I'm afraid. It doesn't have to be a Popeyes or whatever the name of the other restaurants, fast food restaurants. If you go to some of the most exquisite restaurants around, in the mid-range, if you look who's cooking the food, it's not a French man back there cooking your French food. You go back there is maybe a man from Africa, probably from El Salvador, Venezuela, or Mexico. Okay? When you go in that Italian restaurant, unless it's one of those old-time homey ones, we got mom and pop, and they still have to be alive, but by chance they kick the hell over and the children take over. If you go to that back restaurant, it's costing $50 for that dinner. It's not a nice Italian man or woman back there with all that. No, it's a Mexican, Venezuelan, El Salvadorian, and African. So this is what I mean, that people got to think about what they're saying here, which also, people's minds, imaginations run rampant. Anywhere you go, you're in danger. You're in danger anywhere you go.
Yeah, we can't leave out the.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's just every time there's something going on, just like the AIDS virus. Before it was actually started to come on the scene in America. It was originally thought to come from Haiti.
Yes.
Hunters hunting monkey and eating monkey. And somehow this virus got into their system, and by the time the information got to us, it was Haitians were having sex with monkeys in the jungle. Now, how many times have that been done to us for us to turn around and do it to us? Yeah. So I like to bring all that back. If you want to see some nasty, go into some of these wonderful restaurants down there on Fifth Avenue, somewhere in Manhattan somewhere.
You're right.
Gourmet restaurants.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's all over. The problem. Our food is really bad. It's very, very bad. Whether it's processed in this country or out this country, it's bad. Everything.
A friend of mine, he used to work in the restaurants, and he didn't speak English very well, but he was told there's no time to wash the food, just cook it. So you can't blame somebody for not washing their hands when the manager is saying not to wash the food. That could be something where, your little shishi-rishi restaurant, they just trying to, cut corners, and, the last thing you got to worry about is somebody sneeze. You got to worry about where that meat came from and what's on it.
Yeah. All right, y'all are making me sick now. But